You know the vibes. Welcome back to another episode of the Hoop Genius podcast brought to you by NBA 2K23. Maruti and BJ Armstrong here once again, bringing you all things NBA. BJ, how was your day?
Come on, Mo. It's that time of the year. It's that time of the year, Mo. You know, it's Christmas. Santa's coming.
That's right. That's right. We've got a lot to talk about.
Christmas Day games are coming.
Oh, those Christmas Day games are coming. But do you know what usually starts on Christmas Day, but it's starting a little bit earlier this year?
Which is?
All-Star voting begins today.
Oh, wow.
You can vote
already?
for your All-Stars. Yeah, already. So I thought today on the show, we're going to have a little bit of fun. You and I are going to draft our All-Star teams.
Oh, wow.
Irrespective of conference, we're picking 12 players each.
Oh, gosh.
We're picking 12 players each.
Let's talk about the game.
We're going to talk about the game, but we're going to pick our All-Stars first.
All right, give me some names.
Because through the process of talking about All-Stars, we will talk about their respective games and what we've seen from them this season. It all links in, BJ. Okay. Don't worry. I'm going to give you the first pick. You could pick any player in the NBA to be on your All-Star team. We got 5 starters. We're going to put Giannis in at the forward position.
Giannis.
Why are you taking Giannis with your first pick?
Why even ask that? If you have to ask that, you just don't watch that.
For any new listeners who are trying to get into the game and they might not be able to stay awake and watch all the games.
He is
a very top-level summary.
Best player in the NBA right now. He's the best player in the NBA.
And that's even with him putting up his worst numbers in the last 5 years, which is kind of crazy to think about. He's still the best player in the world.
Oh, gosh. The numbers don't tell the story. Who's in first place?
The Milwaukee Bucks.
Okay, then. So that's it. What other numbers do you need?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's how good he is, that his worst numbers in 5 years have still got his team at the number 1 spot in the league right now.
Yeah, he's the best player in the NBA. You know, what else is there to talk about? You know, what else is there to talk about?
For my first pick, I'm going to take who, in my opinion, has been the MVP so far this year.
Oh, and gosh. Who is it this week?
Jason Tatum, as it has been for every week before this. Jason Tatum has been great on both sides of the ball. Which means stop. He's been great on both sides of the basketball. He's been delivering in crunch time. And up until 2 nights ago, the Celtics were the best team in the NBA. So I'm taking Jason Tatum with my first pick. What do you mean stop? Stop what? Stop talking about the MVP so far this year. He is not
the MVP. There's no MVP. No one has separated themselves.
We did an episode 6 days ago where I said, if the season ended today, who's MVP? And you said Jason Tatum. Don't make me pull up the tape.
And I said they had an opportunity to shut that door. They had an opportunity to make a statement. They had an opportunity to finish the argument. Best team, best player, and they left it open.
I'm not letting one game take away his entire body.
I'm not letting one game. I'm just saying now it's up. Mm-hmm. It's up for grabs right now. Like Jason Tatum had a chance to send the memo and say, "Hey, I'm the best player on the best team, and I'm going to make a statement." That's how you do it. There are statement games, and I'm not saying he's not going to win it this year. Without question. It's still up there.
There's plenty more games.
It's up to be had.
The Celtics do have the 29th in terms of schedule difficulty, meaning they have the second hardest remaining schedule throughout the NBA season. So that's one to keep an eye on. But BJ, who's your second pick in this draft?
Who'd you pick?
Jason Tatum.
Oh.
You know, I've got to have a little bit of Celtics bias in there as well. Just for good measure.
Zion is probably my second pick.
Okay, that's a strong duo. Zion and Giannis together on the same team. What have you seen from Zion so far this year?
Zion has been he's been unstoppable. He is perhaps the second most dominant player in the NBA. And he's arguably the most dominant player right now. You just can't, there isn't a player that can guard him one-on-one. I mean, he has been that dominant of a player. Well,
with my second pick, I'm going to go for a player that's on a very hot run of form. His team struggled to start the year, but they've turned it around, as we talked about yesterday. And it's a bit of a surprise for me to take this player here, but I'm taking Kevin Durant as my second pick.
Surprise. What's the surprise?
Because there's a lot of more obvious names that you would think would go ahead of that based on the popular opinion in the NBA right now. But I'm taking KD. He's unguardable. You know what he does. And you're seeing him out there for the Brooklyn Nets now. They're putting together wins. And shout out to Jacques Vaughn, because for the first time, it feels like the drama from Brooklyn has simmered away. They put together a great, they 12-2 over the last 14 games. They put together some great performances. KD is scoring like 30 points plus a night, and he's doing it on great efficiency. So who's your third pick, BJ Armstrong?
Out of respect, I'm going to go out of respect is...
You've got 2 forwards. You still got to put a big and 2 guards. And then we'll get to the bench for everyone else.
One of my guards for sure is going to be Curry.
Okay, Stephen Curry. He's out injured right now, but he should be back for the All-Star game. Talk to me about Steph, because the Warriors had a very tough start to the year.
Yeah, I'm going to put Curry on there. Go ahead, your pick.
Well, if you're picking a guard, I'm going to pick a guard.
Oh, don't do what I do. Just do what you got to do. Pick a pick. Pick whoever you want to pick.
Because the player I want to pick is the player that you want to pick next. And that's Ja Morant. Okay. I'm picking Ja Morant. Because we're talking about All-Star game. I know that if Ja Morant's on my All-Star team, that's guaranteed the highlight of the night is coming from my team. The clip that goes viral is coming from my team. Go ahead, BJ, your next pick.
Luka.
Okay. See, after everything you say about the Mavs, I didn't think you were going to pick.
Hey, you said an all-star. I'm picking an all-star. You said an all-star team. Now you want to talk NBA basketball? You want to pick all-star? Which one
we're talking all-star.
Okay, we're talking all-star. I got to get the people what they want. I got to get the people what they want. I have to get the people what they want.
Okay.
Now you said all-star. I'm picking all-star. You want NBA? We can talk NBA. Right now, the Dallas Mavericks, they're struggling. But All-Star game, Luka. All right.
Okay. Well, my next pick, I'm picking the big fella. I'm picking Joel Embiid at my 5 spot.
Okay.
He's put up some insane stat lines this season. Philly won their last 4, starting to turn things around now. Big presence, some rim protection for, Zion and Giannis trying to attack the rim. So we've got Embiid in there. Who's your final starter for your team?
Okay, and then I got to pick the big fella, Jokic.
Nikola Jokic. Did you see what he did?
40,
wow.
27,
27 and 10.
I got to pick it.
Only player
I like my crew.
I think Jokic is the only player in the NBA where you can rely on him to do things that Wilt Chamberlain has done statistically.
Yeah, I like my crew. I like my crew so far. Jokic, Luka, Curry, Zion, Giannis. I like my crew. Okay,
I hear it.
Your pick.
I've got one more guard spot, and there's a few names that are standing out to me right now.
Okay,
but I'm gonna go with. This is tough because I'm giving you the first pick every round, so I'm gonna go with. At the guard spot. Are we doing if everyone was fully healthy?
Hey man, you picking your team. I'm just picking.
No, just move it.
I didn't want to do this exercise.
Are we going?
You do this exercise.
I never want to do exercise. We're just going to assume that everyone's going to be healthy for the game, right?
What else can we assume?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to slide Jason Tatum to my 2-guard spot, and I'm going to put Anthony Davis as a forward on my team. Yeah, I'm getting creative with this.
He put AD in there.
I'll put AD in there. He played like an all-star when he's been healthy, and he's out for a few weeks now, but he should be back by February. I'm putting AD in there.
Okay. You're a little light. That's AD and KD.
AD, KD,
Zion and Giannis.
AD, KD, JT.
I don't know about that.
Man, listen. It's an all-star game. We're here to have fun.
Okay.
We'll go with the bench. I'll keep letting you pick. Go ahead. Who do you want on your bench?
Okay, I'm just going with guys without question who deserve to be on this team.
Mm-hmm.
One of the guards is Mr. Alexander
Shy.
Gilchrist Alexander Shea.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going with Shea. He's one of
Yep.
the guards. I
Solid
mean,
pick.
he has been terrific. He's
Solid
been
pick.
terrific.
I'm going to go with for my first bench spot, and it feels almost like blasphemy putting this guy on the bench, and he'll probably be a star in the game, but you can't have an all-star game without LeBron James.
Okay.
I'm picking LeBron James for my bench.
Okay. I can respect that. James will be over AD for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Next pick for me is going to be Jaylen Brown.
Okay, you're taking my boy from the seas. Why are you taking Jaylen?
Well, I need athletes.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get up and down the court.
Mm-hmm.
And I need, I space the court. It's just I'm just getting. I got Shea and Jaylen Brown as my guards coming off. Come on, I'm feeling really good about myself right now. I'm feeling really good about myself right now. I'm feeling really good about myself right now.
I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it. For my bench, I'm going to take another guard from the Eastern Conference, and I'm going to take Mr. Donovan Mitchell, because since he joined the Cleveland Cavaliers, he's been doing some special things.
Okay. All right. I respect that. I can respect that.
Who is your next pick? Because the thing with all-star voting is people often use the recency of things rather than looking at the entire season and who
you know who I'm going to take right now. You know who I'm going to take right now. I'm going all the way in.
I think I know. I think I know who you're going to take right now.
Lauri Markkanen. That's who I'm going.
I hear it. I knew that he'd get some love from you eventually.
I'm going Lauri Markkanen.
I hear it. Do you know who I'm going to take?
Okay. Who are you taking?
I'm taking D-Book.
I'm
taking Devin Booker because he's been put on some special displays, and the Phoenix Suns have been kind of solid throughout this year. So
I'm taking. Okay. I'm looking at my forwards. I need a forward.
I know there's a name that you might be thinking of, another European. I don't know if you're going to be lighting a beam after the All-Star game. Maybe not.
You know who I'm going to take? Mm-hmm. You know who I'm going to take as one of my forwards? Sabonis.
Mm-hmm. Sabonis
has been.
I like it.
Sabonis.
I like it.
Sabonis.
I like it. I think if we go in everyone fully healthy, because this is a interesting one. I'm going to say James Harden, because he's been back from injury and he's been actually putting up very efficient numbers, and he's contributing to wins. I'm taking the bearded one.
Okay, I respect that. But we're running out of forwards. This is really
it's a guard heavy. God heavy.
Okay, well, I have to put him on here because he deserves to be an all-star this year, De'Aaron Fox. I mean, I don't know who else. I cannot have. I feel like it'd be blasphemy for me if I didn't have him on my team or on the all-star team. De'Aaron Fox is an all-star this year.
I hear it. Speaking of blasphemy, you know what time it is, BJ?
What time is it?
It's Dame time. I'm going with Damian Lillard.
I respect that. I respect that.
I'm going with Dame. What else you got? That. You got 2 more spots on your team.
You know what? He's been I'm just going to give him because he has been the best player on their team. I don't know what this means, but DeMar DeRozan, I think, is an all-star.
Ooh. Now that's an interesting pick for me because the Bulls have been awful.
Bulls have been awful, but he's been. I think I watched him play there. He had like 29. I think he's been good. I think he's been an all-star. I'm just looking at body of work. I think he's been an all-star.
I hear it. For me, now I got to take this guy because we're talking about body of work, and I've been advocating for him to be an all-star and a defensive player of the year on this podcast. I'm showing some love to my brother from London, OG Anunoby.
I respect that.
A little bit defense. A little bit defense.
And then my final pick is a wild card, just because I love this player. The Ant-Man. He's going to be the best interview there.
Okay.
Ant-Man is in the building.
That's a solid pick.
Ant-Man is in the building. You know what I'm saying? I just because he's one of my favorites. I don't know if he is an all-star.
I don't know.
He's one of my favorites.
Now, for me, the last pick of this draft, there's a lot of guys that I feel like are deserving of shouts. Tyrese Halliburton, most definitely. Darius Garland, Anthony Simons, Darius Garland, Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, Jimmy Butler's always in with a shout, Paul George.
Yes.
But with my last pick, I'm going to take the claw, Kawhi Leonard, because he's...
No, you can't do it. He hasn't played 10 games yet.
This is why he's the last pick, because he's been the MVP of the All-Star game before, because while everyone else comes here to have fun in games, he's going to go hard. Secondly, he comes back from injury, hits a game winner, and then just decides to carry on staying on the bench. I'm going to make him play, and he's going to come in and drop a 40-piece.
Mo, that's a flag on the play. That's a penalty. That's a flag on the play. You know, that's a flag. I can't let you do that one.
I'm taking Kawhi Leonard. I'm taking Kawhi Leonard. Otherwise, I've just got guards on my bench. I've got Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, James Harden, Dame Lillard. I've got LeBron and OG on my bench. But then, if I'm not taking Kawhi, I like my team. I love my team. I love my team. Yeah. So you get Halliburton. So let's have a look at the rosters. BJ has got Stephen Curry and Luka Doncic alongside Zion Williamson, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Nikola Jokic as his starting lineup. Going up against Ja Morant, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, and Joel Embiid. On BJ's bench, he's got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jaylen Brown, Lauri Markkanen, Domantas Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox, DeMar DeRozan, and Anthony Edwards. Meanwhile, I have LeBron James, Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, James Harden, Dame Lillard, OG, and Kawhi. Now, I like your team. I think your starting lineup is stronger than my starting lineup, but I think my bench is better than your bench.
No, you have no. Where's your defense on your bench?
It's an all-star game, BJ. There's no defense.
Donovan Mitchell, LeBron James Harden, Damian Lillard.
Where's the defense on your bench?
Jaylen Brown.
Okay.
Jaylen
Brown's been on defense so far.
All right.
Lauri Markkanen ain't defense. Sabonis ain't defense.
That's no defense.
Fox.
Sabonis is decent.
DeRozan ain't no defense. Anthony Edwards. You know what I mean? Were you asking about my bench and defense? I got OG Anunoby. That's all I need.
You got OG.
I got the defensive player of the year. Whoever's hot, I'm gonna just put OG.
And you got the first time it ever. All right. Okay.
I'm gonna say OG. Just go play defense on that. I mean, that's solid. You guys at home, you let us know what you think. Have we forgotten anyone? Are there any names that should have been on those lists? Tyrese Halliburton for sure.
I'm sure there are.
Darius Garland, I think. DeJounte and Trae, I mean, I'm just not fan of what the Hawks are doing. Trae always makes this All-Star game. Got the Adidas budget behind him. But you guys let us know. I like the Anthony Edwards pick. He was a player we all thought before the season began would make his first All-Star appearance. So there's just so much talent in the league right now. And let me ask you this, PJ, because while we were doing this, the guards, there was a lot more guards being picked than any other position. Why do you think that is?
Well, this is a guard league. I mean, think about it. We're playing in an era now where, the three-point shot, you have five out, offenses where everyone's spreading the floor. So the guards are going to be featured, right? Whether it's, like some of these guys that we picked, like Shai Alexander, right? I mean,
definitely an all-star.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's definitely got to be an all-star. I mean, Jaylen Brown this year, I think he definitely has to be an all-star. When you start guys like Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox, those guys are playing like all-stars. Lauri Markkanen, to me,
he's cooled off. He's cooled off, but he deserves it for the season so far.
Yes, he's cooled off, but that team is playing well beyond expectations, and he is a large reason why. Why? Because he's playing a stretch five. Okay. So some of these guys here, they're just playing. I mean, you have the mainstays, LeBron James, of course, he's going to be an all-star. Donovan Mitchell has come here over in the Eastern Conference, and he's made, look, their team is right there. Okay. Cleveland is a really good team. I don't think anyone can argue Devin Booker. I mean, Devin Booker is without question an all-star. Damian Lillard, I think this year is an all-star. I think you can argue James Harden. He's been injured. Philly is playing much better, I might add. You were all over my Sixers. Doc Rivers has them. Doc Rivers has got them. It's not how you start; it's how you finish.
We'll see them finish in the second round again.
Yes, but they are there now. I think OG is playing like a defensive player of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I think he's really. I mean, they're not playing great basketball right now up there in Toronto. However, he's playing terrific basketball, and of course, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, Ja Morant, Joel Embiid, AD up into his injury. I mean, he's playing excellent basketball. So I think all of these guys are very deserving. And then there's some guys like Halliburton and these guys, just to name a few. Drew Holiday, I think, deserves, a shout out.
Brooke Lopez, he's in the if it's not OG, Lopez, I think Brooke Lopez did a defensive player of the year so far.
Brooke Lopez, if I remember correctly, I think he's been an all-star once or twice in his career. So I mean, there's so many deserving guys, but it's always exciting when guys like Shea and these guys, first-time all-stars who step up to the plate and perform. And, it's good to see. I think Jaylen Brown, man, he's really stepped up, up there, this year. And I mean, he's already been an all-star, but for him to come back and have this type of year with the success they had just a year ago, getting to the finals, for him to come up and step up and really take his game to another level, I think it's been exciting to see. So, I would be happy with any of those teams. And like I said, we'll see how it plays out.
Talking about Brooke Lopez being an all-star, that was 2013. Do you want to know how different the all-star teams looked in 2013?
Who you got?
The Eastern Conference was Rajon Rondo, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, and Kevin Garnett. And their bench was Chris Bosh, Tyson Chandler, who was on the Knicks, Luol Deng, Paul George, Drew Holiday, Kyrie, Joakim Noah, and Brooke Lopez. Over in the West was Chris Paul, the late, great Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, Blake Griffin, Dwight Howard, who's now still playing over in Taiwan, LaMarcus Aldridge, Tim Duncan, James Harden, David Lee, who was on the Golden State Warriors before they became the Golden State Warriors. He was on that first title team. Tony Parker, this is a name that made me really happy, Zach Randolph, and Russell Westbrook.
Think about, we talk about, this is a guard league. Think about all the bigs. Kevin Garnett.
Tyson Chandler.
Aldridge, Tyson Chandler.
Zebo, Zach Randolph. Joakim Noah.
Duncan. I mean, think of all the bigs you're talking about now.
That's 10 years ago.
You just have so many guards. So, yeah, the game is
credit to Brooke for evolving his game and now staying around. Not saying that he's going to be an all-star this year, but, shout out to him. Because that's back when... No, they were Brooklyn by then. Just a few years before he was in New Jersey. I went down a rabbit hole of watching New Jersey Nets highlights the other night. Just got too much time on my hands. But anyway, you guys on social media, let us know. Who had the better all-star team, BJ or myself? Which players would you have picked? Have we made any selections wrong? Who would you take out? Who would you put in? Let us know on social media or on Discord by joining the Discord server. The link is in the description. And if you want to play with all-star players before the all-star game, make sure you get NBA 2K23. The link for that is also in the description to this show. So check it out. BJ and I will be back for more, talking about the NBA tomorrow. There's a lot to talk about. We're going to get into it, and Christmas is around the corner. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon. Share the show with a friend. And most importantly, get buckets.